Welcome back to the CINDERS Fundamental Strength Training Program for Mental Health. In this video, we're going to talk about the horizontal pull pattern. Most of the time, you're going to hear these called rows. This is probably one of the most important patterns to know for the way that we live our modern lives. And so the reason for that I'll explain really quickly, is a lot of times we're on computers, we're on our phones, we're sitting on couches and chairs, and we're crunched forward like this. And so what ends up happening is a lot of times our pectoral muscles and our shoulder muscles are tight here because they spend a lot of time slightly contracted. And then because these back muscles are lengthened most of the time, that sends a neurological signal that it's stretching and should relax. And so they tend to be weak. And so we end up being in this kind of curved position, this like nerd neck, like bad posture. And row movements like this, they pull the shoulder blades back and down and get us in a good posture. And what's interesting is posture actually isn't about thinking about being in good posture. It's about tight muscles and weak muscles pulling joints out of alignment without you thinking about it. So if you stretch the overactive muscles and strengthen the weak muscles, you end up just having better posture at rest. So it's not like a psychological thing where it's like, oh, I need to like work on my posture right now. Maybe you do because you're trying to strengthen and stretch things, but it's ultimately about about doing it subconsciously because your body is stronger in those weak positions and less tight in those short positions. So anyway, rows are a great movement. For me, horizontal rows, horizontal pulls is really anything that's not directly overhead. Maybe something like this, I might still call a vertical pull, but anything in this range here is going to be a horizontal pull for me. So the big main compound movement for the horizontal pull is the bent over row. It's just like a Romanian deadlift, like a hinge pattern that we've talked about in the past, where you're going to hinge at the hips like you're trying to close a door behind you, keeping your back flat. And you can go as low as you want or as high as you want. It's just a little bit more, you're going to be stronger here generally, because you're not having as much, you're in a stronger posture here, leverage wise, than you are down here. This is more strain on the lower back, which means you're going to just have to brace harder to get that weight off, which is fine. It's just a different movement. So anyway, what that looks like, and sort of the main cue for all horizontal rowing, pulling patterns is going to be shoulder blades back and down and driving your elbows back as opposed to curling your arms. So here's what that's going to look like. So with this one, I usually like to come right about to my knee. And so I'm going to pull my elbows up and my shoulder blades are backing down. So I'm not shrugged up like this, I'm backing down. My elbows are coming up as opposed to curling my arms. Well, my elbows back. I mean, you're still bending your arms, but it's really your elbows that are moving. So that would be a dumbbell bent over row. We can also do it with a barbell. And you can flip your grip around as well. So I just showed double overhand for that, pronated grip. I'll show supinated for this one. So my hands are up, hinging back, closing the door behind me with my butt, elbows back and shoulder blades back and down. Getting a good squeeze at the top. So that's our bent over row. You can do body weight rows with something like this. You can actually use a barbell as well. You could throw it up on the rack a little higher, and you could grab the barbell and do the same movement pattern. We got the same thing, rows here. As you move closer with your feet, the harder it gets. Another really great one with dumbbells is to do the single arm row. So you can actually do this unsupported. You do it offset, unsupported. A lot of times if I'm doing this movement, generally what I want to do is pull a lot of weight with strength. So I do supported here, stabilizing here. I like this one because I can get a really big stretch. I can kind of like let this hang and resist that. I can feel my back stretch. And then I can pull up here. Again, elbow back. With this one, you can go really strict with it, or you can start to get some rotation. It's kind of just two variations of the same movement. Just be consistent with what you choose for a certain training period. But that's the horizontal pull. The other ones you can do, there's a lot of machines for this as well. You'll see like T-bar rows where it's almost like a motorcycle looking thing. You're pulling like this. And actually, I forgot to share one of my favorite ones is the dumbbell bench row. It's kind of like a ceiling row, which is just hard to set up for most people. But with this, this is one of my favorites. I do this all the time. Is you have this chest supported row, and now you can do your rows like this. So those are some great options. You'll see at commercial gyms. And I can kind of rig it up here as well. Not quite the same, but you'll be sitting on a bench. You'll have an implement that looks kind of like these. Usually it's metal. I have one. I'll see if I can find it really quick, and if not, we'll bail on this. This guy. Right, and so you're sitting, it's got a cable in front of you. Usually you have footrests up there, and you're doing these guys. Again, horizontal pulling pattern. And that's that. It's a great movement. This is probably one of the most important, like I said, in terms of posture and things like that for the way that we currently live our lives. This is great. Give it a shot.